Hey mate, looking at getting to Adelaide, are you? Okay, answer these questions, you'll be there in no time.
Yeah, thanks.
What's the most common blood type in Adelaide?
Shiraz.
Correct. What is the only sentence, I repeat, the only sentence an Adelaidean can say to sound sophisticated?
Lance, chance of a dance perchance?
Correct. What is the ratio of churches to serial killers?
1 to 1.
Correct. Sydney and Melbourne are known as what?
The Festival.
Correct. And Adelaide is known as?
The Fringe Festival.
Correct. If you take the festival out of Adelaide, what's left?
Nothing.
Correct. Adelaide's the city of opals. What other gemstone is prevalent in Adelaide?
Crystal meth.
Correct. Adelaide is known as the 20-minute city because in 20 minutes you can go where?
The airport.
Correct. What's an imperial pint?
A confusing embarrassment.
Correct. Despite being called the frog cake was actually modelled off what creature?
An Adelaidean.
Correct. Adelaide's biggest import is?
Entertainment and culture via festivals.
Correct. Biggest export?
Disappointed tourists.
Correct. Everyone in Adelaide thinks they're a connoisseur of what?
Wine.
Correct. What are they actually a connoisseur of?
Burnouts.
Correct. Who is the most famous Port Adelaide player?
Koshy.
Correct. Adelaide is in the top 5 most livable cities in the world, also beating all the other Australian cities on the list. Where does famous Adelaidean Sia live?
The US.
Correct. And where does famous Adelaidean Paul Kelly live?
Not Adelaide.
Correct. Where does Anthony LaPaglia live?
The US.
Correct. And where does Koshy live?
Sydney.
Correct. Where does Leighton Hewitt live?
Sydney.
Correct. And where does the Adelaide River live?
The Northern Territory.
Correct. What's a tradies lunch in Adelaide?
A sausage roll paired with the Willows Vineyard G7 Shiraz.
Correct. Who is the official mascot of Adelaide?
Superman Scotty.
Correct. What is known as a world tour?
Everywhere else in the world but Adelaide.
Correct. What ticket do you need to access the best sideshow in Adelaide?
A one-way train ticket to Elizabeth.
Correct. Time for some word association. Tram to Glenelg.
Heaps good.
Hades chocolate.
Heaps good.
Fruit chops.
Heaps good.
Oh, your fly's undone.
Heaps good.
How do you think you're going so far?
Heaps good.
Correct. Top Google searches in Adelaide are?
Why is the State Library in the top 10 things to do in Adelaide? Please tell me Adelaide is the most livable city in Australia still. And please, I need wine fast.
Correct. What's the best thing about Adelaide?
It's like a big country town.
Correct. What's the worst thing about Adelaide?
It's like a big country town.
Correct. What's the most common phrase heard in Adelaide?
Oh, my cousin went to that school.
Correct. And what does Adelaide have in common with the caravan park?
It's cheap, everyone loves drinking, and there's always those people who are staying in a hotel just east of you who think they're way better than you.
Correct. Unlike other Australian cities, Adelaide was not settled by convicts and criminals. When you think of Adelaide, you think of
serial killers.
Correct. What's cleaner, the Torrens River or the dance floor at Red Square?
The dance floor at Red Square.
And finally, you can't be an Adelaidean without picking up a show bag. So I've got you one here. There's a footy in there. There's some ice.
Oh, sorry about that.
Iced coffee, Farmers Union iced coffee in there. There's one ticket to the food and wine and dance and art and food and wine and more food and more wine and art and dance and definitely more wine festival. There's a heaps good t-shirt and some unsolicited wine advice.
Oh, thanks mate. I heard the coffee's good here. I might go straight to the city and get one.
I wouldn't.